Biden and Zelenskyy signed bilateral security agreement as they push Europe to continue fight against Russia. President Joe Biden and his counterparts from the wealthiest democratic nations also reached a deal to give Ukraine a $50 billion loan this year, backed by frozen Russian assets. President Joe Biden, Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelenskyy signed a 10-year bilateral security agreement Thursday at an international summit that included a deal on a multi-billion-dollar loan to help Kyiv defend against Russia's invasion. We're not backing down. In fact, we're standing together against this illegal aggression, Biden said at a joint news conference Thursday night with Zelenskyy. Biden and his counterparts from the wealthiest democratic nation also reached a deal Thursday to give Ukraine a $50 billion loan this year, backed by frozen Russian assets, signaling a determined commitment to beat back Russia's invasion, U.S. officials said. As Ukraine struggles to preserve its independence amidst Russia's assault, the money will go towards military aid, humanitarian support, and reconstruction of the country, a Biden administration official said at a news briefing. Biden said that taken together, the security agreement and the loan deal bolsters Ukraine and send an unmistakable message to Russia's President Vladimir Putin, who launched the invasion of Ukraine more than 2 years ago. He cannot wait us out. He cannot divide us, Biden said. We're going to stand with Ukraine. The security pact may not be endurable, as Biden suggested. Its future most likely depends on the outcome of the presidential election. Former President Donald Trump, the presumptive Republican nominee, who sought friendlier relations with Putin during his 4-year term, could choose to put out the pact if he defends Biden in November. What does a security agreement mean if you have a second Trump administration? Probably not much. Retired Army Lieutenant Colonel Alexander Vindman, who was Director of European Affairs in the Trump White House and is a frequent critic of the former president, said in an interview. But if there's a Democratic administration and we get past Trump and MAGA, there will be some conspiracy in America's support for Ukraine. Back home, Biden and internationalist approach to foreign policies could be cast aside depending on the outcome of the election. As President Trump often sparring with allies in a group of 7 nations, advanced industrial democracies, including Germany, Japan, France, and United Kingdom, Canada, and Italy. And if he returns, some of his former aides believe he may pull the U.S. out of the NATO alliance, which has served as a bowl against Russia aggression. Zelenskyy said at a news conference that he viewed the new security pact as a bridge to joining NATO, the post-World War II military defense alliance. That won't happen right away. Biden has said Ukraine's membership in NATO wouldn't come while the war with Russia still rages. The U.S. is prepared to commit the entire $50 billion if necessary, but it expects other nations will step forward and share the risk. The Biden administration official said the loan will be secured by interest flowing from about $300 billion in frozen Russian assets. How are we going to get repaid? Russia pays. The official said the loan deal was officially announced Thursday during the G7 summit meeting. There are shared recognition by every G7 member that the situation or the battlefield remains difficult, and that if the war continues, Ukraine is still going to have a large financial need next year and beyond. The official said, speaking on the condition of anonymity. Negotiations on the effort have played out since Russian troops invaded Ukraine in February 2022, but political uncertainty may have given the talks renewed urgency. Biden faces a tough re-election campaign, and if he loses, this will be his last G7 meeting. The summit is our best chance to act collectively to close the gap by making Russia pay, not our taxpayers, the Biden administration official said. Western allies of Ukraine hope to keep Russia isolated through sanctions and diplomatic warnings to nations that might be inclined to access Putin's forces. Zelenskyy was asked at the news conference whether China has been aiding the Russian war effort. He replied that he had spoken to the leader of China by phone, a reference of Chinese President Xi Jinping. He said that he would not sell any weapons to Russia. Zelenskyy said if he is a respectable person, he will not, because he gave me the word. The Chinese embassy in Washington didn't immediately respond to a request for comment on Zelensky's remarks. Biden's stay in Italy is short. He arrived late Wednesday and will depart Friday night. His schedule is packed with meetings that, apart from Ukraine, will focus on worldwide infrastructure projects and what Western officials say is China's practice of flooding markets with goods. A personal highlight of Biden's visit will be a meeting with Pope Francis, who is also attending the summit, and will discuss the risks posed by artificial intelligence. Biden, a practicing Catholic, met with Francis in 2021 in Rome and emerged to say he had told him he should receive communion, even though conservative American bishops have said Biden's pro-abortion rights stance should disqualify him from the sacrament. Biden's second European trip this month comes at a tumultuous time, political and personally, the day before his departure, his son Hunter Biden was found guilty on 3 felony gun charges tied to his drug use. Asked about his son, Biden asked about Thursday news conference that he wouldn't pardon him or commute his sentence. I'm extremely proud of my son, Hunter. The president said he has overcome an addiction. He is one of the brightest, most decent men I know.